African leaders are bracing for turbulent times as President Trump's evolving Africa strategy raises alarms across the continent, with severe cuts to crucial aid programs, including life-saving health initiatives like PEPFAR, and a diminishing focus on diplomatic and trade relations. Africa finds itself at a crossroads. The continent, which has long relied on Western support for development, health, and security, must now confront a future with dwindling assistance and shifting global alliances. Before we dive deeper, make sure to subscribe to the African Web and hit the bell icon so you don't miss important updates about Africa's transformative journey. Trump's strategy, characterized by a transactional approach and a preference for disengagement, has cast uncertainty over Africa's political, economic, and security landscape. His administration's decisions, from slashing development aid to reducing military cooperation, are forcing African leaders to reassess their partnerships and develop homegrown solutions. How will Africa navigate this evolving geopolitical landscape? This comprehensive analysis unpacks the fallout of Trump's policies and examines how African leaders are responding to secure their future. The health sector has long relied on vital support from Western nations, particularly the United States. Programs such as PEPFAR, President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, and contributions from international organizations like the World Health Organization have been pivotal in combating diseases such as HIV/AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis. However, Trump's administration made significant budget cuts to these health initiatives, raising alarms across the continent. By slashing funds for PEPFAR and scaling back commitments to global health, Trump's administration jeopardized the progress made in controlling epidemics in Africa. These cuts have left healthcare systems vulnerable, with many communities facing the possibility of reduced access to life-saving treatments. How will African nations maintain their health systems in the face of these setbacks? Governments are now racing to develop independent healthcare infrastructures, invest in local research, and build partnerships with non-Western allies to secure medical assistance. Countries like Rwanda and Ghana are leading the way by investing heavily in healthcare technology and training for medical professionals. Trump's new trade policies are another blow to Africa's economic prospects. His administration's reluctance to renew trade agreements like the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, without imposing stricter conditions has caused widespread anxiety. AGOA has been instrumental in promoting exports from Africa to the United States, creating jobs and boosting economic growth. However, the unpredictability surrounding these agreements has forced African leaders to rethink their entire trade strategy. How can African economies protect themselves from these shocks? One key approach is fostering industrialization and value addition within the continent. By investing in manufacturing, technology, and agriculture, African nations can create jobs and reduce their reliance on raw material exports. The African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA, offers hope as a groundbreaking initiative aimed at boosting intra-African trade and economic integration. If successfully implemented, it could transform Africa into a thriving economic powerhouse. Security concerns are mounting as extremist groups continue to threaten regional stability. With Trump's administration scaling back military cooperation and reducing the US presence on the continent, a security vacuum has emerged. This reduction in support has emboldened terrorist organizations and destabilized fragile regions. How will African nations manage regional stability independently? Collaborative efforts such as the Multinational Joint Task Force, MNGTF, and the African Standby Force, ASF, are gaining momentum. These initiatives emphasize regional cooperation and capacity building to address security challenges. Furthermore, African nations are exploring partnerships with non-Western powers, including China and Russia, to secure alternative sources of security assistance. However, these relationships come with their own set of challenges and risks. Unlike previous administrations that actively engage with Africa, Trump's strategy seems to be one of calculated detachment. His rhetoric often dismisses Africa as a low-priority region, pushing African leaders to seek alternative partners. This detachment has created a sense of urgency among African nations to redefine their geopolitical strategies. The reduced attention from the US has paved the way for other global powers to expand their influence on the continent. China, in particular, has invested heavily in infrastructure projects, while Russia has sought military and political alliances. But can these new partnerships truly benefit Africa without strings attached? the need for cautious and strategic engagement has never been more urgent. The AfCFTA stands as a beacon of hope for Africa's economic future. By reducing trade barriers and fostering economic cooperation, this initiative has the potential to transform the continent's economic landscape. African leaders are working tirelessly to implement AfCFTA provisions and create an environment conducive to trade and investment. How will this integration benefit the continent? The creation of a single market will encourage innovation, increase competitiveness, and attract foreign investment. Additionally, it will provide African businesses with access to a larger customer base, driving economic growth and job creation. While traditional partnerships with the West remain important, African nations are actively seeking to diversify their alliances. Emerging economies in Asia, the Middle East, and Latin America are becoming key partners in trade, investment, and technology transfer. What are the advantages of these new partnerships? By engaging with a broader range of global players, Africa can reduce its dependency on any single partner and negotiate better terms for cooperation. This approach also allows African nations to access a wider array of technologies and resources. Education and skills development are critical for Africa's long-term prosperity. Governments are prioritizing investments in education, vocational training, and entrepreneurship programs to empower the next generation of leaders and innovators. How can a skilled workforce drive economic growth? By equipping individuals with the knowledge and skills needed for the modern economy, African nations can foster innovation, increase productivity, and attract investment in high-value industries. The growing influence of non-Western powers, including China and Russia, presents both opportunities and challenges for Africa. These nations are investing heavily in infrastructure, resource extraction, and technology projects across the continent. However, concerns about debt sustainability and political influence have prompted African leaders to approach these partnerships cautiously. How can Africa strike a balance between engaging with these powers and maintaining its sovereignty? Transparent negotiations, robust governance frameworks, and strategic planning are essential to ensuring that these partnerships are mutually beneficial. As Trump's Africa strategy continues to raise concerns, African leaders are at a critical juncture. The challenges posed by shifting alliances and policy changes are significant, but they also present unique opportunities for the continent to assert its independence and chart its own course. By strengthening regional integration, diversifying global partnerships, and investing in human capital, Africa can build a resilient and prosperous future. The journey will require bold leadership, innovative solutions, and unwavering determination. What do you think about Trump's Africa strategy and its impact on the continent? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the African Web for more insightful updates on Africa's journey toward growth and development.